On the evening of the 28th of November 1920, Tom Barry led one of the most successful ambushes of the War of Independence, if not the most successful. And that took place in Kilmichael, which is where I'm standing now. So Tom Barry would have stood at this point, and there would have been two auxiliary trucks there. They knew there was definitely two, they thought possibly three. So there's two auxiliary trucks coming up from Macroom, up that direction, and coming up to Dunman way, up here. So he was dressed in an IRA army uniform, and it looked similar to the British one. So the plan was to trick the first driver into slowing down in case there was an accident, which did work. And when that occurred, Tom Barry threw a Mills bomb, which is a type of grenade, into the driver cabin, because they were open at the time. And that killed the first two occupants. And he also blew a whistle, and that was to signal section 1 and 2 to attack the two trucks. Was located just up here. You'll see that little plaque that marks that. There was a number of men there. Their plan was to fire down on section 1. So with the command post was Tom Barry and 3 other men who would have been hiding behind this wall. They jumped up to fire onto the truck, and there was close quarter fighting, I think obviously due to how close the command post men were, and section 1 was firing down. While that was occurring, section 2, which is up there, that's section 2, they were firing onto the second truck. So you had 3 sections, but section 3 was actually split into 2 parts. So the first part of section 3 was across the road at this point. That was there in case the British soldiers were getting fired upon here, jumped out onto this side. Then section 3 would have fired onto them, so they wouldn't have had it cover. And they were to cover the first truck and the second truck. There was a little problem. The second truck actually stopped further back than they expected. So they were almost parallel to section 2. So section 2 were fighting a number, I think 9 or 10 auxiliaries, and they only had a small section of about 4 or 5 men. And section 3 couldn't really do much. So Tom Barry ordered the men from section 1 to run up along the tree line, while they came up along the road, because they'd killed everyone in the first truck. Oh, I'm going to stop this now.